this tutorial, we are going to create evening render. So there are many ways we can create it, but I will show you, a very simple way. Then in future tutorials, we are going to be exploring different methods as well. So let's start. Yeah, this is where we stopped the other time, and you can see we have a very, very nice day rendering. There are some things that are missing, of course, like some of the artificial lights that I was supposed to put. I didn't put them. It's deliberate because I want to show them in the evening render. So let's go. Now that you have this, the first thing we are going to do is to select the sun and disable it. So I'll come here and uncheck enable. After that, we can press interactive rendering to see how it looks. Now, the sunlight is no longer showing again because we have disabled it. We have this, and it's already interesting what we can do with this, but I'm going to show you something. With the sunlight disabled, if I go to maybe front view and I choose move tool and I drag the sun down, you're going to see the effect it's going to have on the scene generally. And that is because even though the sun is disabled, it is still affecting the sky. So how is that possible? It is because normally in reality the sun does not go down. It's the movement of the Earth's rotation kind of that determines the sunrise and the sunset. So disabling this sun is just like that. It's just to simulate some of the effect. It's not that the sun is actually not impactful in your work. So I can move it to different side to see how it's going to affect the overall image, the overall look of the image. So I guess if I move it around here, it's still going to be different. You can see. And if I go down a little below the horizon, then we are going to be having something dark. If I go down like this, you can see it's totally dark now. So that's one way to actually see. That's one of the ways to see how the sun works in V-Ray. So we're going to leave it where it is. So this is more or less like daylight without the sunlight. So, but this is what I'm going to use. I'm going to then open material editor. In the material editor, I'm going to delete what is there, then go to rendering, open environment. You can press 8 on your keyboard to open the environment. Then you can drag the sky. So this sky is this that we are seeing. This is what is, representing the sky. And we can adjust this sky to meet up with, the evening lighting that we want. So I'm just going to double click on the sky. This parameter, you can see the parameters are grayed out. So I will check specify sun node, and when I take it, that means I can really work on these parameters. But basically what I need is the intensity. I want to reduce it, so I'll put it on 0.3. Why they put it on 0.3 is because I tried it and it looks nice, so that's why I put it on 0.3. And you can see how it looks. It looks really, really cool. It looks really, really cool. So one of the things that I'll tell you is when you want to work, when you want to create when you want to create evening render or any other kind of render, you can actually go and check some architectural photography to see in reality how photographers actually light their scenes. So I'll search evening architecture photography here, and there's some YouTube video that actually make tutorials, of photographing architecture in the evening, so you can check them out. But here I'll just quickly search for images, and you can see different images. And some of the things you will notice first is that we have this blue sky, and we have artificial light that are orange. So the contrast of blue and orange, cold and warm light is really awesome. Even here we have some things like that, even though the artificial light now is much more artistic, which are this. So there, this can be also moonlight as well, but the idea is still the same. So if you check this, it's still the same idea. You have the cold light and you have the warm light. You can continue to check. Many of them is the same principle. It's just different applications. The same principles, different application. Even where we don't have blue light, you will see that it is warm against the dark. So warm light against the dark, and many things you are going to see that if I search for Mike E. Kelly. Is it? Okay, Mike Kelly, architecture photographer. So this is the guy that I'm always inspired by his work. And you can see these are real life photographs, and you can see how he worked on the evening lighting. So I can go to his portfolio of projects. Really, so now you can see evening setup, kind of really cool, and there are a lot that we can bring out there, and we are going to look at them one by one later. So but let's go to our own. We have created the first one, which is that blue environment light, which is coming from the sky. The next step to do is I'll stop the interactive rendering and I'll start quickly. So I'm going to put the interior lights, and I'll off all the layers to make it easier for me, except the light layer. So for the lights, these two lights, the sunlight and the HDRI that was created before, we have them in the light layer. And funny enough, the door, this door is supposed to be on another layer, so I'm going to put it on the default layer. Then I'll come back to this, make the light layer the default layer, and I'll select the sun and the HDRI, put them in a new layer, rename that layer to environment light. So I have that. I'll still put those dark layer inside the light layer. So we have a new layer, which is on a new light layer, which is under the main light layer. So I'll create a new layer again and name it interior lights. So the interior lights, so I can off this other layer now, the environment. So it's under the interior light layer that I'm going to quickly create interior lights. So what to do is you can come on the toolbar here or on the command panel here, choose lights, change it to V-Ray, then you choose V-Ray light, or you come to the toolbar here, you just pick one of the lights. I'm going to choose plain lights and I'm going to draw it. You can see I draw it out. If I come here and see all the parameters, but I don't need the parameters now. I just need to position the lights inside the building. So I'd like to duplicate it into 2 and enable instance so that whatever I do on one will apply to the other. So I'll just copy it, then copy this here, copy this here. Now the truth is this light will not show on the ground floor really. The window is at this side, which is this side, so the camera is not directly seeing the window, but they will see impact all this other side. And now I'll copy here, copy here too. So around there, I'm just going to copy into this, okay, this as well, this place. I guess I'm good. So I'll come to selection filter here, use light, and go to an elevation view and have the light up. And one of the things you will notice is that this particular light is not inside because this is a ground floor. It's not. This is a cantilever here. So maybe I'll just adjust this like this, but yet we have that. Then I can press shift and copy up to, and while I copy it up, there's some area that does not need that light because they are exteriors. So I'm just going to delete them, and now I have them here too. So I deleted them, and let's see the way they are going to be looking. So let's see. Yeah, this is the way they look. You can see that the environment, nothing is really changing really, except this light inside. The first thing is I don't want to see this light source. I just want to see the light alone. So what I'm going to do is I'll come to the parameters here under modify, and I'll go to under options. You'll see invisible. I'll enable it. Now it is not showing again. So if it is still showing after you did the invisible, it might be that the affect reflection and the affect reflection is showing. Maybe you will need to disable that, but in this case we don't need to. And another thing you will notice is that the unit is default, which is 30. I'll change the unit from default to radiant power, and I'll change it from 73 to 200. So you can see it is much more brighter, but I don't need more than this. I don't want to do more than this, so I will leave it at that. The second thing I'm going to do is to put light here. So let me show you what I mean to put light here. If you notice, we have light here and here. So let's put those lights. To put those lights, all I need to do is, let me see, stop, because there's no point rendering while I'm creating. So I'll select the ceiling, which is the floor here anyway, and this ceiling. So isolate there. So there are two. I'll press F3. Now they are not the same. This is the top. This is the base. The one at the bottom rather. So I'll select the lights, which is the plain light. I'll create it. And this light, the width is actually 50. So I think the best thing is to do them one by one. So isolate. So let me do this one first before I do the second one. So adjust it and put it at that opening. Is the width too much? Yes, maybe I should reduce it by around 100 mm. So let's put it. Oops. So that's 10.8. So maybe I should do 10.7. Okay, so I think it's still too much. Maybe 10.650. Yeah, that's good. So all I need to do now is to rotate. I press E on the keyboard. I'll press Shift and rotate copy as instance. So I'll move that one here. Now I'll just scale it. I think it's good. So I can move them now up. Yeah. So now I can hand isolate, select that ceiling, isolate them again. Now I'll just copy this up as instance. Then select this, isolate. Move it in like this, but like I told you, they are not in the same position, so I'll adjust it. They're not the same size as well, so I'll adjust this. I think that's good. That's okay. I don't need to do too much. Now let's see how they look. Yeah, they're looking good, but not bright enough. And I think I should drop these ones down 82. The camera is not seeing them very well, so yeah, you can see here it's looking faint. It's because of the camera, not the light itself. But now we can change the radiant power and give it maybe 200. Yeah, I think it's okay. Now you can see that we are having this. You can see, yeah, just going the ray intensity preview. They are looking somehow. So I want them to be short. I'll scroll down until I get to viewport, and you see intensity rays. So it's just the viewport. So I'll put it to like 0.3 or 0.1. You can see they are smaller now. I can do the same thing for the lights inside. Okay. So we are getting something cool out, even though we still need a lot of light, like this place. So the next thing to do is let's unhide the layers. So now that we are unhide the layers, we are going to create these lights. And to do that, all you need to do is to open Cosmos browser. And there you will go to lighting. In this case, I will choose outdoor lamps. And I think towards the end, this is it. I'll drag it in like this. So let's select it, isolate it first to see the way it looks. Oops. So let's select isolate, and you're going to see we have one big light here. It is called luminal light. I don't want to use it right now. I will delete it. I will make another tutorial to explain luminal light. It's just a new feature, so I don't want to mess with it yet. Now, if you notice, we have this lamp and we have the light inside it. If I select and move, you can see the light will follow. And if I select the two and press shift and copy, you'll see that the same thing will happen. The light will follow. But if I press shift again, select this like this, and excuse me, copy, you'll see that there's no light inside. Because of that, I know that I can mistakenly just choose one and copy it without the light. So what I always do is when I bring it in, I'll group it as, outdoor So now that I have it, I can end isolate and put it to where I think it should be. Now, anytime I'm working, I try to compose the light in such a way that it will blend with the design, the architecture design itself. And that's what I did here. You can see how it's actually helped the framing. It helps the framing because directly in front of the camera, but yet it is not affecting everything. It's just there to give an impression. It's like it is inviting us to the main building itself. So I try to check. It's not every time you do that, but in some projects you try to see if it works, and in this it works very well. So now I will right click on it. I want to scale it. It looks small, so I'll scale it by 50%. You can see it's 150, and I'll move it up a little, just a little like this, and then I can start, positioning it the way I want. Now, if you notice, definitely I won't be able to replicate the way I did it here because it's not the same file, it's not the same position, but yet you will see that I have this here, I have this here, I have here, I have at that end too, I have here too. So I'm going to do some of that. So position is very, very important. So I'll just continue to distribute it because it's the one that will illuminate the environment. So let's just try to do something really, really nice. So I'll copy it. Now let's try and see how it looks. Now this is the way it looks. This is the way it looks, but is not making sense. Nothing, no impact at all. So what are we going to do? We are just going to need to adjust the light. So I'll select the light, open it. Select the light itself, change it from luminous to radiant power. I'm used to radiant power. Not that luminous is bad, but I want, you can imagine this is 1. I know that I can increase it to 10 and all that, but for the luminous power is 700 here, but I think this is the one that came with. Those values are too high to be putting. I want something that when I put, I will know that I will not need to do too much. So now under radiant power, I have 1. Let's put it at 5 and see. The 5 does not have much impact. So let's go maybe 100. You can see the impact of 100 here. So let's go maybe 500. Again, like I said, the ray intensity can be very, very frustrating. So I'll just set it back to 0.1 or 0.01 here. And you can see the way it is looking now. One of the things that I think I did here also was, to adjust the exposure. This exposure here is 1.5, but I guess I used 2.5 for the evening rendering, and you can see how the lights, came out better and they're looking, really, really better. So for this lights, I use 500 actually. I use 500, but I changed the color and the temperature. I changed it to maybe 3,500. You can see the difference. Now look at what it did. Look at how it gave us this beautiful, nice effect on the plants, on the box trees, and yet it is not shouting. It's just there, doing its work, and things are coming together. But we still have some things to do. So we need to create this light, which is the spotlight. And what you need to do is maybe to go to 3D Sky, and when you go to 3dsky.org, just go and find spotlight, or you go to lighting, you choose ceiling lamps. You choose ceiling lamps, and you search for free ones. You can see I'm free, and then you can find something nice that you can use in your scene. In this case, there's something I always use. I don't know which page it is now, but I just like it. I don't know if I will be able to see it or not. If I'm not able to see it, I will go and copy it from another file. Okay, maybe because I'm rushing. Normally when you are working, you will not rush, but for tutorials, you don't want to waste people's time. Oh, I can't really find it. Okay, if I can't find it, I can just try and open another file, then copy it from it. I'll open this file because I've been using it, and really I don't know where it is on my computer as well. I always open files and copy it out and paste. So I'm just going to quickly do that. Stop the rendering, pause the recording, and quickly open. All right, so this is it. I will select those lamps, those spotlight lamps rather. Then I'll copy to computer. Then I'll go to the main file. I'll explain everything that was done on it. Then copy it. Now let's look at them. How did I set them up? It is basically just the lamp. I put light in front of it, and this is how I did it. I created, let's go to F3, select this, open, delete this. So I created a disk lamp from the middle like this. Then it is looking like this. If you go to the modify tab, you have the directionality. It can be for plain light or disk light, and I choose always. It should always show the directionality, and this is the way it is showing. So I start to adjust this. You can see it will make it look like a cone, and that is what you have here. There is no big deal to it than that. All the parameters are the same. So that's what I did there. And now, as I've copied it, let's see how it will affect the whole scene. Now you can see the effect is quite strong and it's looking cool. Maybe for this wood, maybe I'm supposed to make it a little bit a less glossy. You can see the glossiness is much, unlike this, that the glossiness is not much. Maybe there's nothing bad in that. I can adjust that, but you can see that the all scene is coming up and everything is looking good. But the environment light, the skylights seem to be too bright for what I want to achieve. So what I can do is to reduce it to like maybe 0.15, and you can see it's darker now. It all depends on what I want to do, but I think that 0.15 is still too dark. So I think I am okay with this. One of the major challenges, even though this is looking good, the floor area here, the landscape area, the interlock area seem to be very, very dark, and here is not that dark. It is as if this light here is actually spreading light here. Now I want to show you in reality, now in real images, how photographers handle such scenario. Now I'm trying to see if there is any scenario like that here. Now look at this. Even though this particular one, okay, let me try and use this as an example. Look at this here. You see that this is the reflection of what is coming around here. What is happening around here? It is actually bringing illumination here. But look at this. We have this tree. We have these lamps that are lighting the tree, but they are not enough. So what photographers always do is they will now introduce lights, some artificial lights, to match, the light that was there, and they do it in many places. See this as well. Now how do I know? Because I'm used to it. I know what photographers does. So in some areas they introduce some artificial lights to actually enhance the lights that were there. You can see how dark this place would be if these lights are not there. So they do that a lot, and it was done here because there's no light to light these plants. So what it did was it introduced some artificial lights that were not in the architecture at all to brighten them up. Look at them again here, because you can't see the light that is actually lighting it up. So what you are going to be thinking is that the light is coming from the inside or from this place, this ceiling light, to light this place up, and it's not. It's the one that introduced light, more or less like a flashlight, something similar to that. So to light some of those areas, and that's what we are going to do. That's what I did here, and that's what we are going to do too. So what we'll do is we'll create a plain light. We'll put it around here, then raise it up. Now you see what it will do. You can see how it brights those areas up, and you would think that it is this light, this rope light, that are creating that effect. But the problem is we are seeing the light, so we are just going to go and make it invisible. Now, by making it invisible, nobody will know that a light was introduced there. They will think it is this light that are coming from the rope lights that are illuminating this side. And if it is too bright, you just come here. In the intensity, you can bring it down maybe to like 20. If you feel it's too bright, I'm not saying it's bright, but if you feel, this is too bright, you can do that. If you feel like it's too low, you can increase it as well. So the only important thing here is make sure that it does not look fake. It does not, what you are doing, it should blend with everything. So in this case, I'm going to leave it as 30. And if we wait a little, we'll see that the images are, really, really coming out well. Maybe the light inside, I don't want to make it white, so I can blend it, maybe give it temperature, and maybe 3500 is going to make sense. So that is what you have, and you have created a very, very nice, uh evening lighting without actually have to stress too much. All you just need to do is to think and look at, okay, what can I enhance, what can I do to actually make it much more better. And you can see that in this case, this area is really, really bright. This is not, it's just the positioning of the sun, of the light, nothing really that big deal. So it's the position of the light to the object that actually affects that. You can see now how it is. So maybe I should just make it a little bit bigger, maybe 4500 width or 6000 to cover a lot of ground, and maybe it's going to make sense. So you just have to play with it to see what is going to work. There's no hard rule to it. You are the one that is in charge. Just make sure that you do what makes sense, and you're good to go. Now you can see it's much more better, I guess, this way. So this is where I'm going to be stopping. In the next tutorial, we will look at another type of lighting. I'm going to also try and render this so that we can see how I will adjust it in post-production. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.